What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 10 of Let's Talk Wrestling. And today I'm going to be talking about Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestlemania 41 in 25 days time in Las Vegas's Allegiant Stadium. Obviously, this is one of the hottest stories you could more so after Monday Night on Raw, going into WrestleMania season with Jey Uso punching his ticket to the main event of WrestleMania by winning the Royal Rumble and challenging Gunther, a man who has beat him 3 times already till this point, which is one of the main reasons for the negative reaction to Jey winning the Royal Rumble. And I won't lie, I was definitely a part of that. I mean, you can go and watch my Royal Rumble prediction reaction video, sorry. I'll leave it up here if anyone's interested to hear my thoughts at the time of Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm a bit more okay with it, I think WrestleMania is shaping up good, I just felt if John Cena won the Rumble, he could have went to challenge Gunther and it'd all make sense. Obviously, heel John Cena is awesome. I also did an episode of Let's Talk Wrestling on heel John Cena, which I'll leave up here. I'll probably do another one pretty soon on how that's developing. But I thought, if he goes on to challenge Gunther, then that leaves Cody for this man, CM Punk, and a bit of dominoes going on there. But yeah, I thought Cody and CM Punk, good storyline. Or The Rock versus Cody. Obviously, we've got that in a different sort of way with the whole John Cena storyline, but I thought that was one way they could go with it. Also, I was thinking CM Punk versus Gunther. If they're still going to go with John Cena versus Cody, CM Punk versus Gunther would have been perfect as well. Either way, I think the reasoning behind me thinking Punk was going to win the Rumble, I think I said that in my predictions, was that he had promos in the weeks leading up to it with both Gunther and Cody Rhodes, and he set his sights on a world championship and a main event of WrestleMania, and neither of those has happened for him. And now he's in a triple threat with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and you've got to assume that's not going to main event, because it's weird. I feel like they've had him not main event that, and then they'd put it in the main event, even though it's a huge match. It's definitely main event worthy. I just don't think it should main event, because CM Punk should probably main event WrestleMania next year. I think he definitely could have if it was against Gunther or Cody Rhodes, but I don't think he will, and I don't think Jey or Gunther will either. I just don't think it's a main event caliber match, to be honest, unfortunately, and that's one of the main criticisms of Jey Uso. His character isn't great. It's a lot more popular in recent times. He's really boomed, with the whole yeet and the entrance and stuff, but his character's actually got worse. There's sort of no depth to him. He's just the yeet man now instead of the right hand man Jey Uso, when he had a bit of depth in his character and stuff like that. I mean, we might be seeing that come back a little bit with what happened on Raw, and I'll get into that because that's the main reason I'm making this video, because it's really the only thing that's enticed me with this whole storyline. Because as I said, one of the main reasons for it being an odd choice to have him face Gunther is that Gunther's already beat him 3 times. Most recently was like a week before the Royal Rumble. He beat him at Saturday Night's main event as well. So you're just thinking, oh, it's not going to be Jey. He's had his chances. He's been Intercontinental Champion recently. Obviously won it from Braun Breaker, lost it to Braun Breaker. It's not even a transitional run, because he dropped it. He got it off Braun and he dropped it to Braun. So he's not transitioning it from like one bad guy to another bad guy. That's because that's what a transitional champion is, or good guy, either way. But yeah, he had that, and then obviously you think, is he deserving of a push? Obviously he's so popular that he could be deserving of a push for that reason. And I think he is, you know, in fairness to him. He's very popular. He's huge with the kids mainly, you know, the older audience, maybe not so much. They aren't as, like, enticed by that side of things and prefer in ring action. And, you know, there's a phrase where people say, like, yeah, and then the bell rings, about wrestlers who are great, and then yeah, they're actually not great when they step in the ring, or, you know, the opposite, like Ricochet. But his popularity is deserving of a push. It's weird because, you know, I think a guy like LA Knight, absolutely deserving of a push, and fans were campaigning, you know, the yeah movement, yeah. At Money in the Bank 2023, I thought he should have won the briefcase. Obviously, Damian Priest, who's over in the back too, he had a great briefcase run, although some people, pretty much everyone was shitting on it. It ended up really well, really great cash in, memorable, and he had a decent run with the title. And sort of after it, I think he hamstrung Gunther's title reign, as has Jey a little bit, because he's just not had that quality of opponent, Gunther, I'm just going to put him down, in his title reign. You know, he's dealt with Damian Priest for a while, who isn't the best. You know, I don't think they have incredible chemistry. And then he's dealt with Jey Uso, who also isn't the best wrestler. And again, we've seen that in recent weeks, and I'll get onto that. So sort of been hamstrung by that, which is why his reign hasn't been so great. But in recent weeks, in the European tour and stuff, he's fought Dragon Lee. Has he? I feel like he's definitely fought Dragon Lee. He's fought Axiom, and he's, like, supposed to fight loads of other guys. I mean, he's facing Big Jim next week, so, you know, absolute blinder a match that'll be. Which, while I'm here, I'll bring it on to. They fought each other at WrestleMania 40. These are two guys that are brothers, have known each other for nearly 40 years, and didn't seem to have any chemistry. Just super kicks and not much else, splashes. And that's the problem with them. They're a bit one-dimensional. I guess that's maybe what their finisher stands for, 1D, in some aspects. But I think, obviously, like the Bloodline stuff and it's cinema stuff has shown their character work to be sort of better than their in-ring stuff sometimes. I think they're a good tag team, singles-wise, maybe not so much, which is unfortunate. And yeah, it's tough, but I do really like this story that they've started building. Obviously, last week, Jey botched a suicide dive, or I can't remember what the word for over the top rope suicide dive is, but he botched one of those, nearly broke his neck. Well, yeah, not that serious, but he botched it and became a bit of a meme, and people were saying, like, oh, this is the guy that's won the Royal Rumble, this is your next world heavyweight champion, because chances are he's gonna beat Gunther, which is unfortunate for Gunther, that, you know, he's had Priest and Jey as his opponents for most of pretty much his entire title reign. And it's going to end up not being as good as it should have been, because his title reign has been killed because they haven't done what his Intercontinental title was. His title reign was, you know, over 600 days, constant defenses. That's what made his title reign so good. And that's the reason why his world heavyweight title reign hasn't lived up to the same thing. But yeah, we saw that botch with Jey last week, and then we saw him also botch the spear on Gunther when he attacked Jimmy yesterday, and he botched taking advantage of that. He slipped over, and then you see the back, because obviously Gunther beats the shit out of him after that, and then you see in the backstage segment, Jimmy sort of riles him up. He says all this stuff about you're becoming a meme. You can't beat Gunther. This Jey doesn't beat Gunther. The main event Jey Uso, the right-hand man, does. I need that Jey at WrestleMania. And it's really planting seeds of doubt for Jey. And I think, you know, using things like that is definitely the best way to go. You know, I think it's improved the story incredibly, because there wasn't much of a story before that, I don't think. It was just sort of like Jey Uso's over, and now he's into the world title picture. and there wasn't much leading up to that other than Gunther has buried this guy 3 times. He's destroyed him. Why would he do any different this time? And some parts of me think he shouldn't. He should just destroy him, and it'd be pretty funny. But it probably won't happen. Jey's probably going to be the plucky underdog who does win it, and I'd be okay with that because he does deserve it. At the end of the day, it might not be the best title reign, might not be the best match, but you know. Back onto LA Knight, a guy that should have been pushed and didn't get pushed, and everyone is sort of angry that he didn't get pushed. And now we see the same, or well, not the same, the opposite happened to Jey Uso, and we're not happy about that because in retrospect, LA Knight should have got a push. And it's a bit fickle, you know, you're seeing what you actually wanted to happen, and now you're not happy about it. I feel like LA Knight is a better wrestler than Jey Uso, though. You know, he's got a deeper bag, deeper moveset. Sorry, Punk. But yeah, we'll get Punk out of here because he's done. So's LA Knight. I suppose Jim is as well. But yeah, just sort of a weird opponent. I mean, and on the topic of LA Knight being deserving and that, you've got a guy like Drew McIntyre, who's had an incredible year, best year of his career, and he's not in a world title picture. In fact, he's going to be facing Damian Priest at WrestleMania by the looks of it. I know, obviously, heel and heel, that's not going to work, but, and, you know, Cody's obviously got a bigger superstar, a bigger story than Drew McIntyre, so I understand that, but, you know, he doesn't get a world title match, and Jey Uso does, which doesn't seem entirely fair. You know, one option could have been Ilya Dragunov. Obviously, would have been awesome if that was the WrestleMania match. I don't know if there's much of an interest in that, you know, in the wider fan base outside of like the more diehard fans that have watched NXT UK and seen that. Obviously, Ilya ended Gunther's record UK championship reign all those years ago, but before he came to the main roster, and then held the IC title for a record number of days. Unfortunately, it won't be the same with the World Heavyweight title. I mean, he'd have to hold it for donkey's years, but yeah, that had been really cool. Obviously, he's been injured. We'll never know if that was in the plans. Probably wasn't. And just the last thing before I wrap up, I will die on the hill that Chad Gable should have won the Intercontinental title off of Gunther. Sami Zayn didn't need it. Lucha de Americano, or whatever his name was yesterday, deserved it more, absolutely. And I mean, I don't know how he's making that storyline work, but Chad Gable's incredible. He should really have had a singles title run by now. It's unfortunately he hasn't. He should have been the Intercontinental Champion. In an ideal world, it'd be Chad Gable in this position, to be honest, for me. As a face, I think he's incredible. I'd really like to see Chad Gable as a carry on as a face. You know, he's good as a heel, though. He is a really good, slimy, annoying heel. But I would have really liked Chad Gable to be the one to dethrone Gunther. But yeah, not to be. At WrestleMania 41, it will be Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. And most likely, Snatch is going to Jey. Jey will be the World Heavyweight Champion after WrestleMania. That is my prediction as of right now. Yeah, whether... I don't think we'll see another Roman heel turn, but he'd get a lot of heat. Roman'd get a seriously lot of heat if he turned on Jey and won the World Heavyweight title off of his cousin after all that time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like if you have. If you want to see any more of this series, if you've got any suggestions for it, leave that in the comment section down below and I'll get to it. And if you want to make sure you do see your video when I do it, then hit the subscribe button up here and turn your post notifications on. You'll be updated every time I upload. And yeah, job's a good one. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. Goodbye.